Welcome back to What I Think I Know with your host, Dan Brigantino. On this week's episode, my last remarks on Renee Good, a bit of fun with Canada, some scary AI news, and a little bit more. Stay tuned. Out with the old, little guy, in with the new. That's right, we're getting serious. Renee Good, I want to talk about her criminal history. She does have criminal history. What a surprise! Oh, would never have guessed. Domestic child abuse. That is probably the most important bit. She only had custody of one of her children out of three. I don't think she should have had custody of that child. I don't know why she did, how that happened. Like, yeah, you beat your kid, but not too much. So we'll just take two of them from you. I don't understand. But there's other stuff in there too, interfering with medical treatment, battery of a police officer, several probation violations. I kept trying to say prohibition violations, but that's not quite right. Anyway, that's just a little hint at her criminal history. And now on last Thursday's episode, I talked about some other, not middle-aged, but kind of middle-aged, I don't know, 35 to 45-year-old women who were not acting appropriately around ICE officers. Here is one clip that I had mentioned earlier.
That Mustang's coming on you pretty fast. She just ran a red light.
She were up with you.
Yeah, that's a fast little car. She's right behind you now. Alright, just slow down. Let me do this.
Yeah, come down here, fly road.
Okay. Turn on the lights, turn on the lights, turn on the lights, turn on the lights, turn on the lights. Turn on the lights, turn on the lights. Hey, wait. Turn on the lights. Ma'am, you're impeding with the federal investigation. We have you on camera. We actually have news reporters with us in the vehicle. Your case will be referred over to Homeland Security investigation for prosecution. You will be arrested. This is your last and final warning. Hold on a second, guys. Give me your license, please. I will once again tell you, you have cases in danger. Put your vehicle in park and shut it off, please.
I'm just a mom.
I understand, but you are impeding. Look where you are at. You are almost causing an accident. You are surrounded by federal agents.
I understand.
Okay, I am the Deputy Field Office Director here, ma'am.
We're here at the Mustang.
Please,
Stand by. We're running the name. We're going to refer this case over for enforcement action.
I'm just a mom, please.
You got it?
Please, I'm just a mom, please. I'm just
Kylie?
a mom. Yes, please, I'm just
You
a
are
mom.
just, you turn around and get out of here.
I'm getting out of here, I'm getting out
Here
of
you
here.
go.
I'm getting out
Slow
of here.
down.
Yes.
Hey,
I'm getting out.
guys,
I'm getting
guys.
out.
I got it.
I'm getting out of here.
I got it. Got it. Everybody break away. Break away. Everybody break away.
I'm going home.
Kylie, look at me. Look at me. Quiet. Look at me. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Okay? I need you right now. Take a deep breath. I want you to pull over right here and go home. Okay? Take a deep breath.
Can I just, I'm shaking.
You may leave. Please turn around. I'm going to stop traffic for you. Go. Okay?
Give me your phone.
See you again, Kylie. Everybody break away. I got this. Everybody go. Come on in.
How we copy?
As you can see, that officer was about as nice as he could be. You really can't get any more leniency for doing what she did. Had she not even had any connection with ICE, and been driving like that, yeah, that would have been a reckless driving felony, endangerment and all that sort of thing. She probably would have lost her license for a year, something like that. I don't understand truly why this officer just let her go. He should have held her, called the local police, and shown them the video of her driving like a madman woman, and she should have been arrested. It should have been on the news, and that could have perhaps discouraged someone like Good from doing what she did. They are not fake officers, ICE. They're not fake police officers or whatever. They're real law enforcement, so listen to them. Here's another clip here.
I don't give a fuck. You're gonna shoot a pregnant woman? Yeah, you're gonna shoot a pregnant woman? Yeah? No, she just fucking put a gun on it.
I was driving down the street. I'm beeping because there's a bunch of ICE agents running after someone. Sorry, I'm really shaking.
You're pregnant. You're pregnant, and you're basically attacking ICE officers. You can clearly see in that video she might not have been intentionally trying to kill anybody, but that was close enough right there. Don't do that, especially while pregnant. What in God's green earth are you thinking of? I just saw another video of a woman who had her 7-year-old child in the car while she had parked it illegally and gotten out of her car and started harassing ICE. Her 7-year-old kid was sitting in the car. So that's bonkers. That child should have been taken from her. On the contrary, I also saw a video of a police officer who got in an altercation, ended up wrestling a guy, a bystander helped her out, stuff like that. And then at the end of the video, you could hear her saying, "Oh, I'm pregnant." Like, why are you on duty as a police officer while you're pregnant? You should be behind a desk. If you are in a line of work where you might have to fight somebody, you should not be doing that while pregnant. I would say that's also child endangerment. A little bipartisan, I guess. I'm attacking both the idiots on the left, whatever, however you want to be described. I'm also talking about the police officers, which I do back predominantly. Now here's a couple clips of police officers getting involved with people in vehicles while they're not in vehicles. This first lady is a very tragic story. She passed very quickly after this.
As the Jeep continued to advance, Officer Caprio got off one shot. WJZ won't show the rest, but a somber jury saw and heard Amy Caprio dying from massive crushing injuries.
You can see there in the video, she got one shot off and was then run over. From what I hear, it was a very brutal scene, and nobody could really do anything to help. She was too far gone already. And then this one is also pretty wild. Check this one out.
Turn off the car.
No.
299, she's fleeing.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Get out of the car!
No.
299, she almost struck me. Get out of the car!
And that's why you don't let criminals do whatever they want while they're doing crime. You gotta stop them by any means possible, truly. Here is a clip of what can happen if somebody does get away from a police altercation.
30 to 40.
Walk over to the back. No. Stop! Just got in my car, took off.
Woo! Mad right now, bro?
Hey, don't beat yourself up.
Because now she just fucking caused 3 people to fucking die. Because she wanted that they could fucking
You can't control anybody else's actions.
So I would think as soon as she got into, and I know it's kind of the cops' fault-ish, because this lady was able to get away from the officer and actually get into the car. I don't know what happened prior to this. It could have been that she was fairly compliant and that's why she wasn't in cuffs yet or whatever. But she killed 3 people. Innocent people, just a family traveling down the road on their way, I don't know, to whatever, Sunday brunch, whatever it was. I think as soon as she got into the driver's seat of that police car, she should have been gunned down. There's no reason she should have gotten away like that, and no reason those people should be dead. Here is a very funny clip that I saw, and this is how you should act when police officers are around, talking to you, asking questions, whatever. Watch this.
License and registration? Alright, can you get out of the car so I can check your car?
What's that?
Can you get out of the car so I can check your car? Like, can you step out, please? Alright, everything's good. You can go home. Your car's good. You can go home.
Okay, see.
What? No, go home.
He said, see,
Yeah.
okay, papi, see.
No, go home. No, go home. Ir a pa la casa.
He's like, I'm not resisting,
Puedes ir.
man.
Pa mi casa.
Yes.
Mi casa.
House, yes.
You comply, you stay alive. Simple as that. Say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, whatever it may be. Just do what they say. It's easy. I think I've talked about this before. I've been arrested before. One time in particular, I had done nothing wrong, got pulled over because I had a tiny little crack in the bottom right-hand corner of my windshield, so small that I forgot it was there. Somehow the police saw it. I'm not entirely sure how. They pulled me over, saw a shock top sticker on my steering wheel. Obviously, this was in Arizona. They saw my long hair. I was driving an old beat-up green Subaru with a surfboard on the roof in the middle of Arizona. They don't know anything about river surfing. Choice. Anyway, yeah, I was arrested. They let me go the next day. It was like the guy walks up and goes, "Do I smell beer or weed in here?" Because he saw the sticker and my long hair. It's weed here, beer on the sticker. Anyway, they had to like search my car, and we were in a parking lot, so they decided they were going to impound it and impound me into the jail. Spent, I don't know, whatever, 18 hours or something like that, a little, less than a day, just kind of overnight, whatever. Got out, let go. Everything was fine after that. They didn't find anything or want to charge me with anything or whatever, because they couldn't. I complied with everything. They said, "Oh, we got to take you out of your car, give it a search." Okay, no problem. Stepped right out. We got to put you in handcuffs. It's just protocol. Okay, sure, no problem. Hands behind my back. We got to sit you in the squad car, just for a minute. It's protocol. Okay, sure, no problem. We're gonna take you down to jail. You're gonna spend the night here. Oh, okay, sure, no problem. Whether you're guilty or innocent, just comply and you will stay alive. It's very easy. If you're guilty, I can understand why you'd want to run. And in which case, if you die, so be it. That's your fault. In fact, I last night had a dream where I was watching fish swim up and down a stream, and I was like, oh, I want to fish those whatever. I want to throw a rod in the water. And then I remembered that I don't have a fishing license right now. And so I didn't. In a dream, I was able to connect back to reality and go, I can't legally do that. Nope, not going to do it. I would never normally talk about dreams. I do. I'm one of those people who hates that, but most of the time it's because people don't know how to tell stories and shit. Anyway, that is kind of my final piece on Nicole Good. I'm sure it'll come back up in the future. But anyway, let's move on to Canada. A beautiful thing happening in Canada. It may soon be that Alberta is no longer Alberta, Canada, but instead Alberta, USA. That would be sweet. They've got a lot of oil in that little province, whatever they call them, state, basically. I think they'd be a great addition to America. I would say my only reserve would be that I kind of think they shouldn't be allowed to vote for like 5 years, kind of get them acclimated. Otherwise, it might just end up kind of being a new California. But on the other hand, they might be scarred enough from their own liberal government where they're going to vote hardcore Republican. I'm not entirely sure how that would work. But yeah, there's got to be some sort of a protection clause so that they don't end up ruining us too. But again, I'll say Alberta seems to be pretty smart. That's about all I got to say, but I do want to show you this clip. This is I don't remember what it's called. I'm having a real big problem with words today. They're just not coming to me right. But anyway, this is a fellow driving down the road looking at the big line of people wanting to sign the bill, essentially, that says, yes, we want to secede from Canada. Here it is.
This is 2 hours after it started outside the lineup. These people are all lined up to still sign.
Next up, here is a rather frightening clip of AI doing its thing. These are all 100% AI videos. I guess not 100%. They're based on pictures or clips of things from the past. You might recognize quite a few of these people. None of them said any of these things. Frightening, but enjoy.
That LLMs are not good at yet, and that is copying human prose.
If you happen to watch something, say on YouTube or TikTok, and you find it unsettling, listen to that feeling. The footage may be AI, and you may have entered the uncanny valley.
Remember, be neighborly to one another. At the end of the day, we are all we have.
And don't get into fights online. That's like whacking it angrily. Only losers do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, no longer can we trust the footage we see with our own eyes.
With the release of VO3, we were merely lukewarm. With Sora 2, we are fully cooked.
You can see at the end, I went into the comments a little bit just to kind of give you a taste of what people are thinking. And I think the most prominent one to me was that AI can't do cigars yet, which I thought that was pretty funny. Only men can do cigars. That includes the women who smoke them. But yeah, I guess watch out for the cigars. There are still some tells. And then, of course, if you know, like, these people well enough, like George Carlin kind of thing, and the guy from, oh gosh, what's that show? The Twilight Zone. You can kind of infer, because we've seen enough of them, we know that that's not one of the things that they said. But anyway, keep your eyes out, because that's getting pretty darn good. Next up, we have a very intelligent woman. Here she is. That's about as smart as they come from Somalia. And terrifyingly enough, well, we've got to get some Muslim stuff in here. I think that's kind of has to be part of every episode now. It is probably the biggest threat that we are dealing with. Here's a clip from the streets of New York City.
So our work is not done. We must show up. Stronger than we did the first October 7th. Louder than we did the first October 7th. Make it clear that we are not going anywhere.
So I don't quite understand why none of these people are in any sort of trouble. They're literally talking about a future October 7th that they're going to commit. Harder, faster, stronger, whatever the guy said. Why is this allowed? Why can we not just say no to this? I don't know if you guys heard, but the tribute building, I can't remember what it's called, but the tribute building to the World Trade Centers was lit in green to celebrate Muslim something or other right around New Year's. I don't understand why that's allowed. Muslims blew it up. Why are we celebrating them on the same ground that they killed, 3,000 Americans? Off with their heads. I don't... This guy who's talking, at least, at minimum, the guy up on the podium talking should be arrested, jailed for life, or gotten rid of. I'm sure we could make that some sort of treasonous act, because they are calling for the murder of at least Jews, seemingly Jews in America. But it kind of seems like they're calling for the murder of anybody who's not Muslim, which is the Muslim creed. That's just what Muslims do best. And their Quran tells them, kill the infidels, and everybody who's not a Muslim is an infidel. On the contrary, Jesus said, Jews and the Gentiles alike. There were no Muslims at this time. That did not exist. So he took the Jews, which were, sort of his religion, and then everybody else, which those two groups encompasses every single person on the planet. They're all part of one church. Muslims go the exact opposite direction and say everyone on the planet, except for our people, must die. Very interesting contrast. Next up, a little talk about chemtrails. You ever see those big, long, stripy clouds in the sky? I've been talking about this for so many years. It's just I think it's bizarre that people don't think about it more. All you have to do is look up in the sky and see the initial stripe of cloud that the plane leaves, and then 45 minutes, an hour or two later, you look at the same exact stripe and it's covering the entire sky. And the whole day is dimmer and hazy or foggy, not foggy, but hazy at least. It's a very strange thing, and seems like we're finally kind of proven right. I mean, we've been proven right a bunch of times in the past, but they've kind of hid themselves by saying, oh, it's just a few tests here and there. And by saying that, they're able to not put a number on how many tests or how often. But here are some people talking about it, including Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think before she went off the rails. But here it is.
All the crazy cranks and conspiracy theorists who were concerned about chemtrails and weather modification, well, you might have been proven right after all. I've just come out the most extraordinary 2-hour congressional hearing here at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. on that very, very topic. Experts all agreeing weather modification, cloud seeding, chemtrails, it's real. Here's what happened.
My written testimony goes into detail explaining my decision to join more than 500 other scientists and academics from around the world to call for a solar engineering non-use agreement. I'll just briefly state first, the understandings are not sufficiently developed to know what the outcomes would be. and unintended consequences are almost certain to happen. Second, our 70-year history with weather modification should give us some humility in thinking that we can understand what the consequences might be. We've been trying to modify the weather for 70 years, and we don't know if we're modifying the weather. And finally, we have one Earth, and experimenting on it carries considerable risks. I have likened geoengineering to risky gain-of-function research on viruses with uncertain benefits and catastrophic risks.
Now, the federal government has been involved in cloud seeding since the 1940s. Using the planet as a test monkey for emerging technologies poses all sorts of risks. Among these that have been highlighted by the EPA are stratospheric ozone depletion, acid rain, and reduced crop yields. There's also the question of whether such large-scale climate interventions is even necessary given the uncertainties regarding climate change.
For years, anybody who questioned weather modification was labeled crazy or a conspiracy theorist. Now we've learned that they've been doing it for decades. One geoengineering company called Make Sunsets injects aerosol into the atmosphere to reflect sunlight back into space. I want to show you their frequently asked questions. Why? It says, unless we reflect sunlight, tens of millions of people will die, and 20% of species may go extinct. These climate activists have come so far that they are actively trying to inject chemicals into the air to block the rays of the sun from hitting the earth. And they want to take away our God-given rights over the earth in order to satisfy their godless climate cult beliefs. Potentially cooling the earth could also cause people to freeze to death, crops to die, and could literally lead to killing millions and millions.
Bill Maher here almost got the Hero of the Week, but was kind of scooched out of the way by another great fella who you'll see in a minute. But Bill Maher talking about the media and kind of how to manage yourself around the media. Well, here he is.
I thought as a public service, since it's so hard to find reliable news these days, tonight I would provide a few rules of thumb for trying to follow the news in our modern age. Starting with, if the headlines in your preferred news outlet routinely feature words like shreds, destroys, pummels, bashes, your outlet is a partisan piece of shit. Either that or you're reading a Batman comic. Ditto with obliterates, roasts, annihilates, and owns. You're supposed to be a source for information, not Nikki Glaser at the Tom Brady roast. 2, any news source that quotes the internet or writes Twitter says or a bunch of hacks too lazy to do real journalism. You can pretend you wrote a piece on the zeitgeist, but what you really did was look on your phone and quote the 3 angriest people with the most time on their hands. 3, if your news outlet consistently reduces everything that happens in the world to who the president of America is, get rid of it. It's just thoughtless, reflexive team politics. Trust me, no one lighting a tire fire in Haiti is thinking, I wouldn't have done this under Trump, but given the weakness of the Biden administration, why not? Every problem in the world isn't caused by the president. When that train derailed in East Palestine, it wasn't because Trump deregulated the brakes, and the container ship didn't hit the bridge because of Biden's woke DEI agenda. These aren't news stories. They're storylines pumped into your bubble. 4, always be aware that once the news became a profit division of media companies, they stopped being in the news business and are now in the audience stroking business. The goal is no longer to inform opinions, it's to reinforce them. Walter Cronkite used to say, that's the way it is. Now it's, that's our story and we're sticking to it. Narrative first, whole story never. On Fox, a Venezuelan migrant is always stabbing a white lady. And on NPR, where they stop bashing the rich long enough only to beg for money, Jamaica is a paradise and Nebraska is a no-go zone. News Nation reported this year that the U.S. was on track for nearly a 300% increase in measles cases. 300%? Wow, that sounds like it could be millions. It was 35, because they just want to manipulate you into clicking. Look, I have 10 fingers. You want to see me suddenly have 80% less?
I love the guy. I still definitely don't agree with 100% of what he says, but he is kind of the only like talk show person who actually speaks kind of his own mind and not just what he thinks people want to hear or is being paid to say or whatever it may be. He's the only sane one, truly. Again, like I said, don't agree with everything he says. I think some of the things he thinks are stupid, but most of the things that he thought were stupid, he's come to the other side on now. Also, I want to say, watch Anchorman 2. It is a perfect story of how the news ended up being what it is today. I remember watching it in theaters. I was there with my brothers and a bunch of their friends. And I remember saying, like, dude, this is truth in plain sight. This is like 2013 or something like that. And I was going, this is the truth in plain sight that they're all talking about. They're showing you how they're screwing us. They're showing you how they're lying. I think that's a beautiful movie, not because of the movie itself. I mean, I haven't seen it in years, so I don't really remember how actually good it was as a movie. But at least that part makes it top 10 in my book. Go out and watch it. It's crazy. You'll see what I'm talking about. And finally, technically we have 2 more segments, but our hero of the week. Our hero of the week this week is Carl Higbie. Here is him going off. Check it out.
Everyone's, oh, this is the most important election. No, the most important election of our lifetimes from here on out is the next one. Okay, and then the one after that, and then the one after that. And if Republicans don't make these things into law and get this through their head, they're going to lose. And Republicans are going to sit there in the minority scratching their head. I don't understand why we didn't have turnout. The better question is, Mike Johnson, why would we show up to vote? You haven't thrown a single person in jail. There's no accountability for COVID, and New York Dems ran the guy who literally stuffed elderly patients into retirement homes with COVID and killed people. They blocked meds that would have saved lives. They shut down schools. They forced people to get a vaccine against their will, who then got heart conditions and nothing happened. And they lied about it, coming from some dude that it was in he ate a bat in a wet market while Fauci and his cabal were killing beagles and funding the Wuhan coronavirus lab and expected us to believe that it didn't come from a lab in Wuhan named coronavirus. No one in jail for Russiagate, for censorship. Not one of the 51 former Intel officials who told us that Hunter Biden's laptop was a Russian plant. It actually does turn out that Hunter Biden was, in fact, smoking crack in bathtubs with hookers. You failed to indict Letitia James for like the 3rd time today because you did it wrong the first time. Still haven't charged Adam Schiff for the same mortgage fraud. Looks like James Comey is probably going to get off scot-free. And the best the Republicans can do is, here's $800 million more for Ukraine. Why the hell would Republicans be excited to vote if Trump's not on the ballot? You want to keep your majority? Throw 100 people in jail for political corruption and all the corruption that Doge uncovered. None of those people are in jail. That's like low-hanging fruit, including everybody involved with the auto pen primary, all the 21 state senators in Indiana who just voted with Democrats to oppose congressional redistricting for their own party. They essentially just gave up 2 seats. Abolish the filibuster and just start getting stuff done. Give us nationwide reciprocity. Abolish the income tax. But while you're at it, let's deep six the IRS, and then you can sell the building or drone strike it or do whatever you want so nobody can come back to it. And then you can tell the Muslims seeking refugee status to do it in the 56 surrounding Muslim countries that they have rather than here so we don't have to pay their benefits. You do that, you'll gain seats in the House. We'll have 300-seat majority. People like me will be excited to go out and vote because we're not right now. Because if you do that stuff, man, Mike, I'm telling you, I will legit run through a wall like the Kool-Aid dude to get to the polls. But if you don't, you'll lose.
A beautiful man. I think he works for Newsmax. I don't really know anything about Newsmax other than Carl Higbie, and I didn't know about Carl Higbie until just a few months ago. I started seeing his clips pop up here and there. I might even follow him, something like that. But man, he slams them hard. I love hearing that. And that's basically what every American is thinking. We don't just dislike the left ideas and stuff like that. We also dislike a lot of the rights because there are a lot of, I can't remember if he said it in the clip or not, but rhinos, Republicans in name only. They are not true Republicans. They say they're Republicans, but no, they're not. It's unfortunate. But beautiful people like Carl Higbie are always here to help us out. This is why I do this show right here, to kind of assist in spreading the truth. I know nobody even watches it. I've got one of my cousins who's a pretty regular watcher now. Thank you, Anthony. You're the man. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing seeing hardworking Americans take time out of their day to do things like this show or posting on Instagram and stuff. A lot of them, including myself for sure, are not getting paid a dime. We might be trying to get paid. I would love to get paid for this. I would love to be able to do videos every single day. My phone is absolutely maxed out on space. I cannot fit. Every time I have to take a picture or record a video, I have to go back and delete a bunch of stuff because I have so much crap on that phone. And it is really not personal photos and videos. They're pretty much all clips of people being ridiculous on the internet. Not just on the internet, but in the news and whatever, all that stuff. So I think this is kind of the new form of patriotism that we can do. Anything else is seen as too extreme, essentially, and we will be, shut down or told to be quiet or whatever, which is not okay. But it is what it is right now. Eventually, because of all the people like Carl Higbie out there doing their thing, the tides will turn. But anyway, Carl Higbie, come on down. It might not be a Pulitzer Prize, but damn, it's delicious. Another guy I'd freaking love to share a beer with. Alternate to Hero of the Week, it could also just be like, people Dan wants to share a beer with. Anyway, Carl, thank you for all your work. That's what I got for the show today. I know it was very video heavy, but all this stuff needs to be seen. I'm going to sign off now and leave you with a very cool clip. I've never seen anything like this. Pay attention to the detail. You'll notice he's even got a spring in this thing. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a second, but the detail is unbelievable. It's a beautiful work of art and edible. That's fun. But anyway, here it is. Thank you guys all for watching. God bless you. God bless this big, beautiful rock we live on. And we'll see you next week. Take care.
Today, we eat a beef car 98. First, cut the beef jerky at an 80-degree angle. Fold the cut piece in half and seal the edge using rice paste. Apply heat until it solidifies, then punch an opening on the side. Once all beef components are ready, the assembly begins. Next, place black licorice onto a flat iron and gently press it. Then cut out a teardrop shape and carve horizontal grooves into the surface. Brush with sesame oil to enhance grip and aroma. Begin attaching them to the main structure. Carefully install the remaining components, from the trigger to the upper guard, and finally the front sight. Next, take one whole peanut and grind it into a bullet-shaped piece. Insert it into place, and just like that, we have an edible Carabeefer 98 curds.